Hey everyone, Justine with Blue Jay Orchids. Are you guys ready for a how-to video? We are going to repot this orchid right here. I got this from Carl Smith at the Venice Orchid Society show. And if it's going to go live outside where I grow my orchids, it can't be in plastic. Alright, so just doing a voiceover, because when I repot, I kind of zone out and then I don't really remember to talk. We're looking at the new growth, looking at the roots. I already took it out of the pot and got rid of most of the media. This pot I got from OFE at the Venice Orchid Society show. This plant has Walkeriana in the background, so I'm kind of doing like a mounting potting hybrid with this. And I'm just using zip ties here to secure the plant. It's one of the best ways I've found personally, just to make sure it doesn't move and it has good root grab. Sometimes it's a little hard to get it to sit just right. I find this works better with stakes, especially when you are doing like lava rock and charcoal, which is what I use the most. So just putting the zip ties through the bottom hole and doing it in a way where I'm not crushing any potential new growth. A little hard to see. And then I just did this one night when the boys went to bed. Repotting is just it's very calming once you get into the hobby. It's very relaxing, especially when it goes right and you find like good roots. And with this, because we're not 100% into like the actual like where you should be repotting, I didn't take off tons of roots. I just kind of cleaned it up and threw it in the pot. There are a bunch of different ways you can repot. And depending on the plant and the situation, I use many different ways. And then with this pot, since it has so many holes and airflow, I'm not too concerned with the roots rotting. I could always pick them out of there if I really wanted to. So just checking the zip tie here, making sure I like it, tightening it a little more. But hopefully you guys are liking this. This is probably a good how I repot most of my plants. The ones I'm not mounting or doing like a traditional clay pot. So if you wanted to, you could just leave it like this and not even do any media. But I am a underwaterer, so I like to add a little bit of help. But I don't like using traditional orchid mix because it breaks down. I try to repot in a way where it's going to last me as long as possible. So here I'm choosing to use charcoal because I want it to be a little lighter than if I used a whole pot of lava rock. Also, there is some debate whether charcoal actually offers some natural protection from certain things. Like charcoal is a cleansing product, like it absorbs things. The only downside of charcoal is it is messy. My hands are always covered after I use charcoal. And you can see I'm just kind of holding the plant in a way where it's not moving around too much. You don't want to damage any of the new growth or any of the more sensitive roots. The good news is this plant is a good time to repot because the new growth hasn't sent out roots yet. So I'm not having to worry about the new root tips because those are very sensitive. So pretty happy with how this one's looking. Still a little bit more charcoal to add. Just trying to make sure it's not moving around too much. And this orchid will be fine in this pot for a while. And like I said, that's how I like to repot. I have young kids. I don't have time to do like a little pot and then, repot every year. And orchids don't like being messed with tons. So for the most part, I like to mount or do something in a way where it's going to be happy in its current situation for a while. And like I said, this is a Walkeriana in the background. Not straight Walkeriana, obviously, but it's a hybrid. And it's going to want to crawl a little, so it should have room to do its thing there. Just testing, making sure I'm happy with it. Just kind of a typical repotting sesh for me. I'll give you a few other views. But yeah, I was really happy to find this at Crawlsmith. So just looking over, making sure I'm happy with everything, and I'm also using a hole puncher to punch a hole in the ID tag because I like to run a zip tie through them and then attach it to the pot. I will also take a picture when I'm done repotting with the ID in the frame. So if for some reason I lose the tag somehow, I still kind of have an ID. And it also serves as a way for me to know when I repotted as well. And then I put it in like a little file, and it's just a way that I keep record of it. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully, you enjoyed this how to on repotting. And for the most part, there's really no right or wrong way to do it. There are certain rules that you kind of have to follow, but it's all about your environment and what you feel like works best. And some like trial and error. I have found that this method works pretty well for me. And then also after I repot, I'll try to put it in a place where it can root itself before it just gets thrown into moving all around as well. But like, subscribe, leave comments, let me know what you guys want to see more of. And as always, keep growing. Bye.